So, hello, and welcome to Tea.Coffee.Water. We have been trying to start this intro for at least 5 minutes, y'all. So, I am super excited to have this happen. You have been here with me on this journey, and I have a very, very special guest with me here today. I couldn't say anything other than fantastic, fabulous, wonderful things about this human, Troy Alvarado. Okay, so what? It's been like 3 years since we've met.
Yeah.
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 And I have to say, it has been some of the most fantastic 3 years of my life. When I think of like friends, I'm like, this is the person. And I don't know, for all of my listeners out there who are like, do you have that person that you message and they give you the response you needed, but you didn't know you needed it? Welcome. This is for Troy. That's who. That's this one.
You. That's you.
Troy, tell us all about you. Give us the deets, the tea, the
Oh.
juicy tidbits. And remember that parents may be listening. I'm just kidding. Who cares?
Oh. I was like, oh geez, but I'm just gonna leave now, because I'm usually inappropriate.
Facts, full of which is why we have this relationship.
That connection, yes. I knew instantly that you just would get me.
So Troy, where are you calling in from? Where are you at right now?
I am currently in Columbus, Ohio. For those of you that don't know, Ohio is not, it's technically part of the Midwest, but it is not directionally part of the Midwest. So if you're looking at a map and you ever don't know where Ohio is, just look for the big kind of like circular blob triangle thing that's somewhere around the Great Lakes. Columbus is in the center of the state, truly in the center. That's where I live. I've been in Columbus since 2005, transferred or transplanted here, I guess. And when I went to Ohio State, grew up in the northwest part of the state, on Lake Erie in a very small town called Oak Harbor, where there was nothing but cows and a nuclear power plant, and that was all we had. That was excitement right there. But yeah, so
Cow tipping and nuclear waste.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I went to a small private school my freshman year of college called Northwood University in Midland, Michigan. For those of you who are into the mitten, it is literally right here on the mitten. Ohio cannot do that, but yeah, Midland's right here. But yeah, I went there for a year. Just was looking for a larger school, something a little more diverse, more up my speed. And so Ohio State was kind of my dream school. I applied as a transfer kind of on a whim, got in and withdrew enrollment from Northwood. And accepted enrollment at Ohio State without ever visiting the campus, without ever really being in the city to like know if I would like it or not. So I just took the biggest chance, and I had zero regrets. I made some really amazing friends at Northwood, whom I still talk to here and there. But yeah, my experience at Ohio State really just kind of got me ready for the world, and got the world ready for me, I guess.
I love that. So in our tea session, the mantra to always remember is that I am a fucking gift. And I just love what you said about, taking that chance, but also like making sure that it was the chance you took was you. Like you
Yeah.
took a huge chance on yourself to make yourself into the person that you are today. And I think that's just like, I think that's going to go into all of the things that we talk about. But I remember, let's see, so we met United Way of Central Ohio,
Yep.
Pride Leader, oh, God bless it, Project Diversity Pride Leadership.
Amen. Yes.
And oh my gosh. Okay. So when you talk about putting a room of type A personalities, and then also like leaders, becoming leaders in the community, that was interesting. It was, if it wasn't for Tony, God love her, always saying like, please don't forget the marshmallow. I don't know if we would have made it out alive.
I don't know. And I don't know if you shared the same sentiment, but I honestly didn't know what to expect. And I can sometimes be very like shy and reserved in like new spaces. I'm not one to just walk in naturally and feel inclined to just like socialize. It's really a comfort thing, and I think it's part of like my like just guard that I've had since I was younger, just
Mhm.
being
Mhm.
an out gay man, being Mexican in a very white kind of area. So I
Mhm.
mean, just those kinds of guards that you put up so that you can stay protected. You can protect yourself, whether relationships, whether whatever the case is. But I mean, walking in and then just seeing all these cool people that genuinely just want to do good and do good stuff, but it's like I don't know where I fit in yet. And so for me, it was really just assessing the situation, which sounds bad, but really I'm like an observer at first, and then I figure out kind of where to insert myself. Don't take that out of context, but when I met you, it was just like instant comfort. And so like that's just you always like for me, I always find that one person that I can connect with, and that it lets me just like put my feet on the grass and like kind of ground myself, and like that's how it was with you, and then just how to navigate personalities and trying to get work done and all that stuff. It was a rewarding experience. Just I had no idea what to expect.
Same. I feel like the moment there was something that happened and I think I side-eyed you, and it just so happened that you were side-eyeing me at the same time, and I was like, "You about to be friends." Because that people, I tell people all the time, I'm like, no, I'm like an actual introvert. Like being on is so draining. And yes, like, right, like walking into the room and oh my gosh, I feel like later on we talk about this more, but just like picking up traits to make sure that we're comfortable is like such a reaction to
Yeah.
like societal trauma, right? And just like being able
Yep.
to say, like, yeah, no, when I walk in a room, I absolutely have to observe. I want to see the energy from people. I want to know what kind of vibes folks are putting out. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you do this too, but do you determine like what type of what side of you you're putting out to that group?
Oh,
You know what I
100%.
mean?
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
like,
There's like layers or whatever.
yes.
Or like little things that I'll like pull off and like expose. Again, don't take that out of context. Or just parts of me that I'm giving you at different times based on how comfortable I am or based on how trustworthy I think you are, which again, it's just a defense mechanism that I've grown up with. I mean, I'm sure as a strong, beautiful BIPOC woman, you have been the only one in the room that looks like you, that talks like you, that has the same opinions as you. So for me, the same thing, though I'm a Mexican man. Yeah, like I've walked into several rooms where I'm the only one, whether gay, whether
Mhm.
Mexican, whatever the case is. And so it's just, I don't know what part of me I don't know what part of me you deserve at this point. And it's not an elitist thing. It's just I don't know you yet, and so
Yeah.
I have to feel comfortable.
So, okay, down here in Texas, I said something to someone about code switching, and I realized that like that is not a term that's frequently used here. Now, granted, I don't live all throughout the South, so and Texas is its own state, country,
Yeah.
empire within itself. So, but like I said it within the Black community of like, oh yeah, no, I code switch, and they were like, well, what's that mean? And I was like, what do you mean? What I mean? Like, you determine what type of you shows up for people in the area that you're in, and then
Yep.
you switch, right, for wherever you're at. And I was working for a healthcare technology company that was a national company. And we actually had a whole session in this leadership class on code switching because people didn't know what it was. And I feel like everything you just explained as a response of like what layer we get is
Yeah,
code switching, right?
for
Like
sure.
you're like, okay, I know that I am in this very majority cisgender environment. So
Yep.
I know who I have to present. But here's my caveat to that. We present it so other people are comfortable,
Yes.
despite the fact that we are extremely uncomfortable. And
Yep.
I just want to know, like, when is that going to stop? Because I am tired of making other people comfortable, right? Like
Um,
it just itches, it makes me itchy. Like, why do I have to make you comfortable? Right? Why do I have to switch to like create this space for you to be in when you haven't created a space for me to be in ever.
No, no. Or based on what little I know about you so far, or what comments I've heard you make so far, it does not suggest that you would willingly allow me into your space and meet me where I am. So it makes me reserved already. It makes me defensive already. And so then it's like you've already kind of diminished the little bit of trust I had because you've kind of blown that out of proportion. And I don't trust that you would treat me with the respect, kindness, and the love that I know I deserve, and that everyone deserves. So I will observe you and I will be on guard at all times, which is exhausting.
It is, right? Like I feel like I'm on, right? I feel like, and I think that like goes back to just like the weekend we had, or not even a weekend, it was like 2 days
Right,
we
right.
had at the
Yeah,
retreat.
yeah.
And okay, so do you remember where we had to like walk through that parking lot or along that path
Yes,
and we were
blindfolded?
blindfolded?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
And so seeing as how I trust nothing, I was cheating. I cheated. I didn't care what anybody said. Which is, I know, right? They were like, you have to close your eyes. I was like, well, who's going to keep us safe?
Right.
If my eyes are closed, and I was an EMT at this time, like, who's going to keep us safe, right?
Sure.
And so, of course, I saw where they dropped, what was her name? Peppermint?
Harmony.
Me. I wasn't even.
Peppermint.
Harmony. Oh, I hope Harmony still is living a good life. I forgot about her.
I don't even know where she is. For those of,
Yes, please go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, no. For those of you, Harmony was this little, what, a unicorn kind of thing that
Yes,
our group had. She was like our mascot, and we would pass her around to everyone in the group, and they would take pictures with her. It was like one of those traveling things. I took her to my first job when I changed roles at Huntington. I know other people have taken her on vacation and done like it was a really cute thing. I just don't remember she ended up. But she was like our savior.
Harmony needs to come visit me in Austin.
I agree.
Kristen's down here too. Did I tell you?
No.
Well, not Bank of not Chase Kristen, the other Kristen. Um,
Okay.
oh, Natalie. I'm gonna pretend we remember her last name.
I'm so sorry.
So we
Grange, Kristen?
yeah,
Or
that was
okay.
okay. So Grange, not that Kristen, not Grange
Okay.
Kristen that did the speech, the other Kristen, the super quiet Kristen that would do my hair sometimes. I know. Dang.
I'm old. I'm sorry if any of you from PDPL are listening. I'm old. My memory is not what it used to be. I sometimes forget my own name.
Since we're doing public apologies, Jeanette, please forgive me. Confess last year was a blur. Did I tell you how I ran into her and had a whole moment where I forgot what was happening? Like I just was like, okay, I'm gonna be better. I'm not. This is just who I am. I'll try. I'll try. Is what I'm gonna say. But she's here. She's here as well.
Okay.
So I feel like Harmony needs to come and do a visit.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then Shane told me there's somebody else from a class after us that just came in.
Okay.
Yes. Don't know who she is, but I think she's in Dallas, which is like way too far.
Okay.
I digress. But during that little exercise where we had to like find Harmony,
Yes.
and I ended up having to like literally find Harmony. She was okay. So mind you, we're at this retreat. Let me set the picture. We're at this retreat to team build, get to know each other, work through some challenges, and we all get blindfolded. There was like, what, 30 of us?
30 sounds like a good number, give or take. So sorry if we forgot anyone.
It's a whole number that is inclusive of everyone.
Indeed. Yes.
Meanwhile, we had like 18 people.
We'll say 30.
And so we all had to we had to hook our arms and then have a hand on a shoulder of someone. And so only one of us had a free hand.
Yes.
And we couldn't right? And
was it, like hands on shoulders, blindfolded? There was like a long line of us, I think.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, but I thought we were hooked. Like I thought we were 2x2.
Maybe. I think so because William, love him. He and I were partners because we had the same shoes on. That's how we connected.
By the way, can I tell you, I went back to Columbus and he was running the African American Male Wellness Walk, and I was screaming for him like it was Lizzo on stage. Like,
yes, get it, William? Yes.
Best part, headphones in, music blasting, didn't even hear me.
Well, if you're watching this later, William, she was rooting for you like you were fucking Lizzo. So you're welcome.
Like you had just came out on stage, 24-inch performance ponytail, like
cat suit.
Right. Straight. Didn't look forward.
It's okay.
William, tell us.
You tried.
William. Yes. Okay, so you guys are partners.
Yes.
Okay. And so anyway, so we're walking down and we had to find harmony, but we couldn't like let go of each other's arms, shoulders, and we had to use, I don't know, the leaders of like the front, mid, and back of our group to like, those were the only people that were allowed to talk.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Yes. And so it turns out that I ended up becoming the line leader because I was cheating. But all of this to say, right? I feel like after we had that experience, like we all came back in, like, first of all, I don't think I like you, and you, because y'all don't listen. I don't know if that was your experience, but like for me, I came back in like, but we found harmony.
Right.
Faster. And it's always a competition. We found it faster than everybody else had done it before. And we made it back to the platform safely.
For sure. Yes. Yeah. It was all about breaking records, getting there safely. And you know what? Adapting to the environment, even if you maybe had like one eye on the prize.
Maybe if I picked up Harmony, put her back down, and they were like, "Don't touch her," and I was like, "What'd you put her on the floor for?" I don't know how that all related back to code switching, but I do think it related back to like who we decided to be close to.
Yes.
Right. Of like, we got to see some good, bad, and ugly of each other by doing a simple like communication exercise.
For sure. Which honestly is, it served really good purpose, like a good purpose for us to like figure out like how we communicate, how not to communicate, maybe which, and I think too in like those what I want to say, like disaster situations, you kind of find out who is going to be more put together than others, who's just going to fall apart, where the communication breaks down when things get like really urgent, and like who like holds their shit together. And there's nothing wrong with like how you process trauma or how you process like danger, because I mean we're all different people and we all do things very differently, but yes, I think it was going to be clear then going forward how is this all going to work out.
Yeah, I feel like from that time together, and then I don't know how late you stayed up, but we stayed up playing cards, right? And like, I don't know, we all kind of like ended up branching off into these little groups for the rest of the night. And it just, I feel like to this day, of those groups of people that I broke off with, like I could call them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that little group was like, yes, I could actually reach out to you. No, you'll take my call. And like William was in one of those groups. And like to this day, right? Like we still have connections, like all of those things. And that is that, like, I didn't walk away with connections like I have with you, but I have these like little groups of folks that I'm like, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
we can still stay together, because
for
you
sure.
get, like, you get me, I get you. If I let my hair down, nobody cares. If I turn, like, you know what I mean? If I stay in my role, nobody cares. Either way
Yep,
it goes, you accept me as a whole,
for sure.
you know? I don't know about, like, do you, other than like, I don't know, when you walked away from that, what was your like, okay, this is what I massively took from it.
I think for me, it was spending so much time with people and like having to trust them very quickly is kind of like what I was taking away from it. And so it was kind of too, like, for me, you have to let your guard down a lot faster because you got to move through this faster. And so for me, sometimes I process emotions slower, and on purpose, because I really want to experience the full capacity of all of that and go through each of the little phases, whether I'm super pissed, whether I'm super sad, or whether I'm like really happy. I really like to sit and process. And for me, it was like a test of my own patience and my own processing time. Is like, honey,
Mm-hmm.
you've got a day and a half to figure this shit out. And if you
Mm-hmm.
don't, and I think it was what Shane said, just about, you will get out of it what you put into it. And I was like, okay, well, sir, if you don't put your shit into it, all of it, like now, you ain't gonna get shit out of it. And so it's just like, you gotta move through it, and you gotta trust people. You gotta give them the benefit of the doubt, even when what you've conditioned yourself to believe that you shouldn't, you still should try. And it was almost just like, just try. And that's kind of like what I walked away with, just try.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was an amazing experience.
I feel like everything you just said is uh going into our next planned episodes. So just like in case anybody is wondering what Troy and I are going to talk about, because you're absolutely in love with both of us. So we're going to go over genuinely like making friends as adults,
Yep.
building relationships, creating your network. When we were planning this out, Troy, you had this amazing statement, and I put it in quotes. I had to keep it because it was like this instant permission to just exist.
Mm.
And I feel like it gives me like warm chills just remember, like,
Listen, when you like hearing you say it, it gives me goosebumps. Like my nipples are hard because she gave me goosebumps, but it's just a real statement. Again, like, for people that don't look like everyone in the room, don't think like everyone in the room, to meet someone, I might cry, but like, to meet someone that just instantly makes you feel like you're home when you're not home, and gives you
mm,
validation, and warmth and love that you didn't even know that you needed. That was what I felt when I connected eyes with you, even if it was side eye. But like, there was just something about your energy that I knew was a safe place for me to just
mm.
let me exist.
I appreciate you. Like when we've been talking about doing a podcast together for months, like
Yeah.
literally months. And so like within this, I mean, we're talking our love lives, dating life, right?
Hmm.
Like um being enough, our disparities of being black and brown, challenges that we've come across in corporate, in our professional worlds, in our
Yeah.
personal worlds, in our community. And I just feel like it is not often that you get to have conversations with someone who is not going to be like, well, you know what, I don't agree with you, I don't like it, and so therefore we won't talk. Right. Like, I feel like in our connection, like oh my gosh, there was one time you almost divorced me. I can't remember what it was. I forget what it was for, but it was, and you were like, is this, I cannot believe this is the first time we've disagreed. And this was like, I don't know, 8 months ago. I just
Sure.
remember it because I was laughing so hard. I had tears, like tears coming down my face. And I think it was because I didn't like something. And you were like, how could you ever? Who are you? Right. And I was
Right.
like, I don't know. I guess I could. I mean, if you tell me, I guess I could like what it was. It was, I don't know. It was something ridiculous. Was it?
Oh my God, I'm trying to
I
remember.
might get canceled for saying this, but I think it was that I don't do Beyonce.
Oh, that's fine. I don't really either. I'll probably get canceled too.
Oh, then that wasn't what
Now we're just making shit up because we don't know.
it was. the,
Uh-uh.
the whole piece, and I get the point I am making is like the minute I was like, bitch, we about to do this. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but we're gonna do it and we're just gonna
Yeah.
have a great time. And
Yeah.
I know that there are people that are going to relate to what we're talking about, need to hear, right? Like that instant permission to just exist, like that itself is something someone needs to hear.
Yeah.
Who, I don't know, right? But like the fact, and then also I feel like just using our conversations as examples of like, yes, we think each other, we love are fabulous, we love each other. I am so excited for you, right? Like, if there's ever a time where you're like, get the cat suit, right? She's there. She's
Yeah.
ready. And we'll just say it for that in case somebody is listening later. But my point is, right, like it's nothing but a text message or a phone call or a I'm in town, where are you? Right.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
it's that moment of like, I need to be emotional. I need to be excited. I need some advice. I just need somebody to be messy with,
Right.
and like I'm excited for what we have to share. I think
Me
it's going
too.
to be so, so fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And I think, also on the back end of when I came up with the mantra of I'm a fucking gift, right? Um, some of that, when I said it to someone, I said it to these other two women, and we were talking about dating. And I just remembered I would message you, be like, can you believe this? And you're like, absolutely not. Never, ever could I believe that. That is disgusting. And I'm like, that is exactly what I needed to.
Yes. And that's what I love. It's, tell me when I'm being a fucking idiot, but celebrate me, support me, like give me like I literally give you everything and you give me that in return. It is never it's never been like a one-sided thing. And again, it's like you're saying, like I could pick up the phone, I could text you. And it doesn't matter when or what, and like there's no judgment. And it's just be honest and real with me. You tell me like tell me what I need to hear that I didn't know that I needed to hear. When I know what you're going to say and I don't want to hear it, it's complete trust. In what you're saying is for my own good when I'm being too fucking stubborn to admit it myself.
Ooh, that's a big one, right? Like just, oh my gosh. And I think that's the other piece there. It can be days, it can be weeks, it could be months. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? It's just like, that is what I appreciate. And I feel like
Yeah.
so often I've seen all of these memes, all of these videos about like, where do people meet people, right? Or like, where do people find friends? And I'm like, you never know. You absolutely
No.
never know where you go, who you meet, and how they're going to be connected to you. And yeah, I think like these next few episodes that we do together, I'm super excited about it. And I don't know how long our little like series are going to last. It's going to be like a mini series to a full series. And,
Yeah.
maybe a hint that there might be a spinoff.
You never know. Yeah, for all
Just
you nerds out there, there'll be like side quests and we'll be like leveling up and shit. Just come along on this journey, whether you're a dragon, a drag queen, just whatever it is, just come along.
we have like Dungeons and Dragons.
I did. I just told what little Dungeons and Dragons knowledge I know.
I drags and divas. Like, did we just come up with our own?
Yes. Yes. Uh,
No one should ever give me a microphone. That's just all I have to say.
no one should ever give me airtime. And again, which people are probably like, this bitch said he was an introvert, and yet here he is, just yapping like he's fucking owning this shit. But truly, it's because I'm with someone I am completely comfortable with, and whoever is listening, I don't know who you are, so I just trust that you're finding me hilarious. And even if you're not, you're still here, or maybe you're not. But again, it's because of the company I'm with, and I can just be. I can, if I had hair, I'd let my hair down. So
Listen, if it wasn't about to be wash day, these locks would be. We're not gonna go there. I feel it. No, and I mean, you know what's funny is that like people, I'll tell people like, no, I'm an introvert, and they're like, since when?
mhm.
You just don't understand. It just takes a special kind of person for me to be like, and you saw what I saw, what we seeing together, and then we had this whole moment together, and then when the moment happened, we. And then afterwards, I'm like, did you just see what that woman just did? And if I just, and you had the, and you're like, I don't know, and it's a whole the language
Yeah.
is there.
Yes, I think that was the thing is like we had so many conversations without ever fucking speaking, but it was like subtle eye movements. It was just there was so many unspoken conversations that we had that it was just like I literally just had a whole storytelling with this person and no words were ever spoken aloud to one another. And that's how I knew this connection was just fucking legit.
You're the friend I can't go. Don't take me to nobody's wedding, funeral, baby show,
No.
baby shower, baby show, baby reveal. Don't. We can't go. We can't go because if I look and then you. There was just recently, I think it was some folks who was getting ready to sing at a church, and the pastor fell off stage, and both of them had to turn away. And there was a moment where they almost caught each other's eye. And I was like, that right there, that's Troy, right? Like, don't look at me. Because if you do, I cannot promise.
Mm-mm.
I cannot promise that I'm gonna act right.
No.
There's almost a really strong guarantee that I'm not.
For sure. So many times I had to tell myself, do not look at her. Do not, you know where she's sitting. Do not look up from this table. Look at your fucking paper. Play on your phone right now, but do not look at her.
And then it's like, did you? Like, I know you know what I'm about to tell you, but let me just, I hear what you're saying. Let me tell you what just happened. I know you're in this room.
Yes. Please look at me.
Look. Oh, sweet mercy. Okay, so I just want to thank everybody for listening. This was just our brief little intro. We are going to have a lot of fun, and I hope that you join us all for these next few episodes with tea, and also there will be a coffee and tea mashup, so stay tuned. But thank you for coming and joining us, and we look forward to seeing you all next week. Have a great one.